We're there. We're there. Here we go. La 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 la. Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey, and you're listening to the best, the most accurate, and of course, the most fun sports podcast on the internet. So thank you for listening. What's going on, dude?
Peter, 2 weeks and a day away from Turkey Day, and that's where you separate the men from the boys in the NFL.
That is when the NFL season starts. Your team has a huge game that we'll be talking about for show when we get to our preview section of the broadcast. But I wanted to touch on something before we got into the NFL. And it doesn't really matter the sport. We always tend to love a comeback story, a reclamation story, somebody who comes from the depths and proves themselves to be a great player. In the NBA, they have what do they call it? Do they call it the comeback player of the year or it's something like that in the NBA, right? Is it the comeback player of the year?
Well, they have that. They have sixth man of the year, comeback player of the year. NFL definitely has comeback player of the year.
We love those kind of things, right? Like when we hear it, it's always like a feel-good story. And I can't help but think or say that I can't think of another one that comes quite to mind similar to Sam Darnold. Now, we could talk about Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a shit time with the Jets, and then was a backup for a while with the Giants, and then proved himself to be a starting quarterback for sure in the NFL. And Baker Mayfield had a bit of a reclamation project, but he was a good player with the Browns, took them to the playoffs, won a playoff game. And things just went weird because they wanted Deshaun Watson, which has proven to be a terrible decision. But he was already a good quarterback, right? Nothing quite comes to mind that's similar, at least at the quarterback position, but I can't think of any other position, frankly. Sam Darnold right now, you can make an argument, is either playing like the best or second best quarterback in the NFL right now. The only guy that I can think of that at this moment and as the season as a whole playing better than him might be Matthew Stafford, right? I think Matthew Stafford has gone like in the last 4 or 5 games, he's got like fucking 20 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's on an insane streak of, I think he set an NFL record with 4 straight games with at least 4 touchdown passes. Is that what it is?
I think that's true, yeah.
It's insane. So, and in 5 games, he's got 20 and no interceptions. So I guess you can argue that Matthew Stafford is playing better than Sam Darnold, but it's not by much. And then the other side of it is there is nobody else. Not Josh Allen, not Patrick Mahomes,
not
Lamar, certainly not Joe Burrow. Those are the typical names that come up when we think of the top of the heap in the NFL. Caleb Williams is on a nice little run, but he's certainly not playing better than Sam Darnold. I mean, we'll get into that too later on, but it is wild to see. He is literally on pace to be an all-pro, not just a Pro Bowler, an all-pro, which is literally both conferences combined. It's just insane. It's really an unbelievable story. And it is a continuation of last year. I don't know who gets the credit. I don't know if it's solely on Sam. I don't know if Shanahan gets some of it. I don't know if Kevin O'Connell gets some of it. Maybe it's all the above. Probably is all the above. But it is a hell of a thing of the likes of which I don't, maybe Jim Plunkett. I don't know. You're a little too young to know Jim Plunkett, but he was drafted by the Patriots, was an absolute disaster. Heisman Trophy winner, by the way. Absolute disaster with the Patriots, and then obviously wins the Super Bowl with the Raiders, right? So maybe that's the closest I can think of. But even he didn't put up the kind of numbers that Sam Darnold was putting up. And I just think it's awesome. Like, I don't know too many people, whether you're a Seahawks fan or not, whether you're a Jets fan or not, whether you're whoever, Minnesota Vikings fan. I don't know anybody who could be possibly rooting against Sam Darnold right now or even not rooting for him.
Agreed.
It's one of those kind of stories. And I just think it's so cool. And it's just another example of kind of what makes football so great is that you can have this kind of a turnaround to where you're in the argument for best quarterback in the league right now, which blows me away.
Well, I feel like nowadays there's more than ever, maybe combined, like in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe more combined in the last 25 years.
Perhaps, yeah. And maybe that says more about the Jets. Maybe that says more about bad teams and what they do to some of these guys.
Even Jared Goff, dude, like you could argue.
Yeah,
I know he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams, but like.
Right. So that's it's not the gap isn't as wide, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like Sam Darnold.
But it didn't look like it looks now.
No, for sure. For sure. Sam Darnold is the guy who was, famous for saying, I'm seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Now I know what he meant, but that got taken to a place, where that has stuck with him this whole time, to a guy now who, again, arguably playing the best at the position in the entire NFL right now. It's wild. It's wild.
Another reason why we don't need microphones up everybody's ass too on the sideline.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%, right, 100%, yeah, because it's something that stuck with him. That he knows what he meant. His coaches know what he's meant.
His teammates know what he means. Like
everybody, Tom Brady knows. It's just a saying, but it gets stuck.
But Mike Francesa knows what he really means, right? Come on,
of course,
yeah.
Of course, in the New York media. So, yeah. Maybe it says more about the Jets than anybody else. You got more Jets quarterbacks still in the league than maybe any other former team in the NFL. You have Zach Wilson down there in Miami. You have Geno Smith. You have Sam Darnold, and I'm trying to think. Is probably somebody else. Got to be somebody else.
There's got to be a McCown still in the league, right?
I think he's coaching actually. So
Trevor
he's
Siemian
still
somewhere
in the league. Yeah, right. It's probably more of a condemnation of the Jets, but it's just an incredible story. I love it. I find myself rooting for him each week. Even because of the way last season ended, it didn't end so well for Minnesota the last 2 games. I just find myself rooting for him and wanting to see him do well. And I still hear myself, like, however, I guess it's 5 years ago, saying to you when he was still with the Jets, like, man, there's every once in a while he makes a throw that I don't know that there's 5 or 6 other guys in the league that they can make. And he still does that to this day, but now he's put the whole package together. And again, it's just really neat to see.
Sunday morning from over the pond.
Oh my God, I hope this isn't one of my picks.
Colts 31.
No. Oh, okay, we're doing that. Okay. I'm thinking of the preview. I'm like, shit, did I do it again? Did I pick one of the teams?
It was one of your picks, so you lost by half a point. Fucking unreal. Colts 31, Falcons 25. Atlanta finds new and amazing ways to fuck up.
It's unbelievable. They were kind of dominating this game.
Kind of dominating. Jones looked like old Daniel Jones again. Taylor was playing well, but no one else was doing anything.
Right, but they kept them out of the end zone. They were just playing well. They looked really good on offense for a while. They looked in sync for the first time in a while. Yes, yeah. I'm going to stand by Michael Penix here, but I have to acknowledge he makes some throws sometimes. They're a little rough.
Mr. Mangano and I were texting, and Mikey, I think he's a little late to the party, but he wanted to get after you. He's got a long release, dude. He's got such a long release. It can be, and it tends to be on the longer throws. I think he needs to wind up a little bit. It's not a very snappy throw on the longer throws. But didn't it feel like in college you got that thing out faster?
It was quicker. Yeah. I
wonder if there's an injury there or something.
Here's what I will say. I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I will say. They don't use him. They don't treat him, I should say, like the typical first-year starter where it's a lot of short passes. Like, he definitely pushes the ball downfield. I don't know if that's them as a team, calling those types of plays, or if that's just who he is. Like, he was kind of like that at Washington, man, pushing the ball down the field. He's not a dink and dunker. So with that, you're going to get more mistakes. I don't necessarily have a problem with the mistakes. I'll say the same thing with JJ McCarthy later. Like, I don't mind that so much at this point in your career, if you're pushing the ball down the field. But there's even some shorter throws. A couple of them were in the dirt. A couple of them were just off. So he
throws a lot of high and wides.
Yes, definitely. He just misses on some that you're like, wow, you missed that one. Okay. But then he'll make some throws that you're like, holy shit, it's a goddamn highlight reel. So I'm not ready to give up on him. God, it's just amazing to me. I listen to The Herd. I listen to ESPN. Everybody's so quick to fire coaches now, get rid of players. This guy's a bust. Slow the fuck down, dude. He doesn't even have one full season under his belt yet. And I just think, I've seen a lot to say, I'm not giving up on him yet, but he definitely makes some mistakes.
That offense is weird to me in general because they have one of the best running backs in football. And sometimes they don't know they do. And then
It's
sometimes,
like, you were talking about
force it to them and then they forget about Penix.
Ago, you were saying, hey, they finally wised up and they're giving Robinson the ball more. And now the last 2 weeks, they haven't as much. I don't know if you're thinking, I don't know if the game plan is you're using him as more of a decoy or what you're thinking, but yeah, it's a little odd. I'm not going to lie. It's a little odd. Within the same game, Colts don't do that. Colts are like, this is our guy. We're giving him the fucking ball.
Lions don't do that. Like,
come on, they get it to their guys. So, like, smarten up a little bit with that. You were winning games and beating Minnesota. You were beating beating the Bills when you were getting Bijan Robinson the ball. Why would you go away from that? I don't mind using him as a decoy. Sometimes, I mean, you use anybody as a decoy. Sometimes, I'm sure San Francisco uses McCaffrey as a decoy. Sometimes. But in general, you got to get your fucking guy the ball. Like, you got to get it to your bread and butter, man. So, yeah, I agree. But again, the other side of it is a really nice win for the Colts. Nice comeback. Stayed calm. They stuck with their game plan. Sauce played okay for his first game there. He only got to play 2 games in Europe. So, there's a lot to like there. And again, I'll come back to this. The Colts are a dangerous team because of what they can do. They can run the ball. And now they have some nice players in the back end of the defense, which is where they were hurting the most. So we'll see. They're the one team that people don't talk about too much.
Good pick out of you here, Coach. Miami Dolphins 30, Buffalo 13, 8.5, 9.5 point dogs. Smoked the Bills. Bills could not get anything going. As soon as they crossed like the 40-yard line in enemy territory, they fumbled it or threw a pick. It was the weirdest game. It almost looked fixed to me. I'm not saying it was fixed. It looked fixed. This Bills team, we said it last week, they don't have enough weapons. It showed on Sunday. And their run defense, it might be the worst in football.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem to me is that they can't stop the run, especially like up the middle. They do have some speed on defense, like lateral, but good Lord, they can be gashed. We talked about this a bit after the Kansas City game. We said they're built to beat Kansas City because Kansas City doesn't run the ball very well, especially north and south. But dude, you got to win your other games too, man. Like you're falling so far behind the Patriots, you might end up playing road playoff games as a wild card, which right now is more likely than not.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. Offensively, I'm a little less concerned offensively. Not in this game. This game it was ugly, but I've just seen them turn it on many times offensively when they need to. I feel like, look, you're not in a position to have letdown games, but I feel like it was a letdown game. I feel like we kind of saw this coming and they did it, which I'm going to put some of that on the coach, McDermott. You can't let that fucking happen, man. You're not in a position to have letdown games.
Like you have to go into Indianapolis and stop Jonathan Taylor. You're fucked.
Oh my God, forget it. That's not possible right now. I don't know if they got any guys on the injured list that are going to come back and be part of that solution. There's no way they can stop. Miami isn't even close. Do you remember what the Colts did to Miami?
Yes.
Like, if you're going to have to go to Indianapolis and face that running game, it's not going to happen,
no,
dude.
It's not going to happen.
And now with Sauce there, they're better on the back end. Like, that's not happening.
And I don't know. And that's what we talked about in the summer with McDermott. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'd be worried if I was him at this point.
I'll put a little bit also on the GM. You're talking about the offense. It's nice to have 4 quality tight ends, but you have no quality wide receivers, and that's just not.
Why don't you trade one to get another goddamn weapon? Like,
I don't know. Again, it doesn't have to be. Justin Jefferson.
Like, you're not the 2011 Patriots.
There was options out there.
Like,
there's options out there, and you didn't make it happen. So
anyway,
they're questionable. They're questionable. I still think they're good. And look, the one thing we know is at least 2 years in a row, probably longer than that. Second half of the season after Thanksgiving, they play their best. That's when they tend to go on a long run. They start winning games. I think we were saying the same exact thing last year. They've had a couple bad losses. Let's see what happens. New England looks fantastic. We'll get to that, I'm sure. But this is all new to them. They've been the hunter. Now they're about to be the hunted, and let's see how they handle that. So when it comes to experience in this position, Buffalo has done it before. So we'll see if they can do it again.
Excellent segue, sir. It's almost like you've done this before.
Imagine that.
Patriots 28, Tampa Bay 23. I forgot who it was on this podcast. Somebody said they hated this pick of mine. Oh, wow. And so I believe also was quoted, Tampa Bay could stop New England's run game. I think Traven Henderson's still running to the end zone.
No. What do you think this? Would you call this the most impressive win of the season for New England? It was kind of from start to finish.
I would say this and a tie at Buffalo. I would say both those two games, yeah.
Yeah, this one really impressed me to go on the road down there.
In the rain, I don't know if monsoon too.
Yeah, and to be honest, kind of dominate. I'll put it to you this way. This legitimized them. Like, anybody could beat anybody. Miami just beat Buffalo. You know what I mean? Carolina went into Green Bay and beat Green Bay. Like, things happen. This is like
a statement.
Yeah, because New England, you could say New England at the time, New England snuck up on Buffalo and they didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? They didn't sneak up on the Bucks. Like,
no.
We now know, we knew they were a 5-game winning streak, 6-game winning streak going into that game. And to run the ball the way they did, Drake May looked good. Defense looked good. I still don't think they've given up a 50-yard rusher yet this season, which is never mind a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah.
They haven't given up 50 yards to any individual running back yet this year, which is bananas. So
you think the Titans owner sleeps well at night?
Why you say that?
Letting Vrabel go?
Vrabel?
Yeah. Dude,
good
year
call.
one domination, man. What
wow.
the fuck?
Just wow. You know, just wow. You know who else? All the people that were like pissed off that they let Gerard Mayo go. Yeah. All the racist talk. Oh, you wouldn't do it? They're pretty quiet now, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's more or less the same team, folks. Stephon Diggs, that's your big. He just had his first touchdown.
Yeah.
It's not all Stephon Diggs. This is not a Stephon Diggs.
What I like about
great leadership.
Drake May, he really shares the ball, man.
He gets it all. He has to. He makes really good decisions. He's really athletic. He's a fucking monster, by the way. He's a
awesome.
big dude.
He's awesome.
I mean, he's mature way beyond his years. Again, we'll see if it continues. It's a long-ass season. We'll see if it continues. What do I always say? These coaches, they catch up to what you're doing and they make you do something else. So let's see if they got a second pitch or a third pitch. But so far, good Lord. And they are disciplined. And that you put on Vrabel.
As Drake May, being the baby brother of 4 older brothers, 5 brothers total, I mean, you're going to grow up quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And watching and him going to a lot of games and him getting beat, that's
you and I love to poke fun at sports media people. I have to.
Do we?
I have to point this out. Last year, by the second week of the season, Colin Cowherd was talking about how Joe Milton was about to beat out Drake May for number 2 quarterback on this team.
Colin's been terrible, dude. Yeah,
and now he's sitting there like blowing Drake May, and it's like, dude, you don't get to say I've been telling you. And he loves that. I've been telling you. I've been saying. No, you were saying that Joe Milton III was going to beat him out for backup quarterback. You don't get to forget that, dude. You don't get to say I was right. When he does the whole when Colin was right, when Colin was wrong, and now he said, Drake May, I told you. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that when you told us that Drake May was going to get beat out by Joe Milton, who isn't even on the team anymore. Stop it. This is what I mean. Everybody just forgets what these guys say. We don't forget. Tough
one in the Bay Area, Coach. Rams 42, Niners 26. Mac Jones played great. The defense is brutal.
It's bad. I got to give San Francisco is so decimated by injuries. I'll give them some credit that they kind of kept this competitive for a while. For a while. And you're right, man. Mac Jones is just, playing his balls off, man. He still has like a noodle for an arm. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Chad Pennington. He has a slightly better arm than Chad Pennington, but he's that same kind of like make the right decision, throw to the right guy. He made one bad choice that I don't know if it got picked or almost got picked. I think it almost got picked. But he's playing really well. But goddamn, like Matthew Stafford, it just looks fantastic. I have no idea if his shoulder's okay, if his back is okay. He looks phenomenal. Just phenomenal. He's throwing the ball beautiful. He's getting just enough protection. It's not perfect protection, but it's just enough. And he has this thing that Dan Marino always used to have. He's a better athlete than Dan Marino, but Dan Marino never ran, but he was really great at moving within the pocket. Not just as soon as things break down, get out. Dan would just slide left or right, up or back. And Matthew Stafford he's just fantastic at this. He gets himself into a spot where he can still deliver the pass. And he's just playing, it's damn near perfect football as a quarterback right now.
And McVay's in his bag too, calling right balance, like everything. Yeah, it's a good combo.
No, he puts him on boot action just enough, probably like half a dozen times a game, where the pass rush can't just like pin their ears back and get after him. And Matthew Stafford, for a guy who I would call a pocket passer, he's exceptional at throwing on the run. Like, you just wouldn't expect that necessarily from what we would consider a pocket passer. He's really, really good at boot action passing. He's wildly accurate. It blows me away. But he's playing as good a quarterback for a long stretch as we've seen over the last few years. Like, no bullshit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really impressive to see.
The Jekyll and Hyde Steelers go into LA and get smoked. Chargers 25, Steelers 10. They scored with 2 minutes to go to make it 10. It would have been worse than that.
Were you surprised by this though?
Yes, I was.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Because I said last week that with the Chargers all banged up with the offensive line, I thought they'd get to Herbert a lot.
They didn't.
Really, not at all. Rodgers was consistent. He looked anything other than that. He looked slow, indecisive. Run game stinks. They're forcing the ball to Metcalf, and then it looked horrible for the Steelers. This team, we said the last week or 2 weeks ago that the Ravens were the betting favorite to win the North.
Yeah.
At this point, dude, I don't even know if the Steelers might make the playoffs.
Yeah, especially when you look at the rest of their schedule. I think there's at least 4 more losses, at least on the sky. I think it's more like 5, almost locks for losses.
I'll get it for you, Coach. Hold on. Go
ahead. Pull that up. I think the biggest disappointment for Steelers fans watching this game is that there was probably more Steelers fans in the stands than there were Chargers fans. I mean, they travel unbelievable.
Always the case.
It's incredible, but especially for Chargers games, because that fan base is still located in San Diego, although it is growing. Harbaugh has a little something to do with that. Justin Herbert has a little something to do with that. But the fan base is it's not the same as it is for the Rams. They just haven't been there long enough. But yeah, you would hope to play a little better in front of kind of a almost a neutral field than they did.
Bengals, they host the Bengals Sunday.
Should be a win. Should be, but I don't know that that's definitely a win.
At the Bears.
That's a coin toss to me.
Host the Bills.
I think that's a coin toss too.
At the Ravens.
I think that's probably a loss.
Host the Dolphins Monday Night Football.
Should be a win.
At the Lions.
That's a loss.
At the Browns.
I think, honestly, you're going to think I'm crazy. I think that's a coin toss also.
I agree. The way their defense plays and the way Myles Garrett hates TJ Watt and they want to go
especially at home.
Oh, yeah.
That defense plays incredible at home. I don't know why that is, because usually defense and the running game are two things that travel really well, but their defense doesn't. But at home, they're stiff. Yeah.
And then last game hosting the Ravens, that could mean a ton.
Coin toss. Yeah, it's probably a, going by what will we have, like 3 coin toss games, two losses, and then that game. So almost 4 coin toss games.
At 5-4.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask, man. And that's saying you're going to go into Chicago and maybe win. I'll get into Chicago in a minute too, but I don't know. It's going to be really tight. It's going to be really tight. It probably comes down to that last game.
I would bet some money it would, yeah.
And you said that game's in Pittsburgh?
It is.
Maybe they pull it off, man. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Baltimore. I'm still not sold on them, being back or being better. I don't know. I'm just not there yet. I'm not going to say that they're there just because they beat J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings right now.
Yeah, I'm not there either, but I'm getting there. Well, Lamar missed practice today, so I don't know what's going on.
A little sore knee. They said he's going to play, but I will say this.
That's not great, though.
I have more confidence in them than I do in the Steelers right now. But I don't.
That's incredible.
Not saying much. That's all.
I agree with you, but it's nuts.
Yeah.
Last one for me, buddy. I have, the Broncos and the Raiders started football bad, and the Eagles and Packers ended football bad.
Yeah.
Both scores 10-7. Jordan Love, dude.
He's an enigma for sure. Now, listen, they got like 5 receivers banged up.
Tight ends out for the year, though. You can't get
it's
that
a
back.
problem. Yeah, it's a problem.
Eagles don't look good either. I mean, win on the road's win on the road. I hear. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm starting to feel like
Hurts and Brown have something intentionally wrong.
I'm starting to think like the Eagles play this way almost intentionally, and I don't mean like they're fucking with people. I just mean like they're so risk averse right now. Like they don't want to make mistakes, and they'll only take risks when they kind of have to take a risk. It's like, let's just play it close to the vest until we can't do that anymore, unless we fall behind. We'll just take our chances like that. We will eventually do something smart late in the game, something successful late in the game. It's kind of how they played this game. They waited a while. You know, I don't know. You know, sometimes when they need to score 30, they score 30. In this game, they needed to score 10, so they scored 10. And it's almost like we're just going to do what we need to do to win, and we're not going to do things that might cause us to lose. This is a very different team than last year.
Oh,
that team last year was very dominant. This is more of a, I don't know. The best way I could say is let's just do what we need to do to win this game. Sometimes they're defensive battles. Other times they're shootouts. The reality is they're 7-2, 6-2, 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2, I think. Yeah.
So, I mean, until they give me a reason to, it's hard to argue with it. I don't know. What can you say?
A lot and a little at the same time, honestly.
This is a team that beat the Rams. I know it took 2 blocked kicks to do it, but they beat the fucking Rams, who many people think is the best team in the league, playing the best in the league right now. This is a team that beat the Chiefs. This is a team that beat the Cowboys. This is a team that beat the Packers. I mean, it's got to count for something. Every time they come up against one of the better teams, they beat them.
They lost to the Broncos. At home. They blew that lead, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Who was the other? The fucking Giants. Yeah.
Right. Maybe they look at that Denver game. Maybe that was the lesson. Like, we tried too much, and we should have just played it close to the vest.
That's fair.
And win the game instead of worrying about piling on or something. I don't know. I'm theorizing here because it is a little odd. But the reality is, you look at them against the toughest games they've had this year, they've won them all. I don't know how to argue with that.
It's funny.
And if they're not as good as they look, what does that say about those teams? What does it say about the Packers? What does it say about the Chiefs? What does it say about the Rams? It just, it's weird. It's weird. And I don't like the way it looks, and we can certainly critique the way it looks.
Well, they have another tough one this week. We'll get into that in a minute.
Absolutely.
You have anything else, buddy, for that week?
Nope, good to go.
All righty. This week, week 11. Tampa
Do you want to
Bay.
do our top 5 before we get to the preview?
I would like that, actually. That's a
coming
good idea,
off
Tom.
coming off the review.
You started last week, so I'll kick this week off if you don't mind.
No, I'd love that.
At number 5, I have the Eagles.
Me too. I'm sorry, I'm going to let you go.
No problem. I just don't. I don't think I could put them higher, but I think they got to be in the top 5. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
At 4, I got the Colts. 8-2 speaks for itself. A gritty win overseas. I think that Steeler win, the Steeler loss, is more of a flash aberration than anything else. I think the Colts did just do when you run the ball like that, and my God.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me, I have the Patriots. I am a believer in this team. Their schedule's easy down the stretch. If they don't win the East, I'll be shocked. Again, pressure mounts as you go. I understand that.
Yes.
But Vrabel's the right guy to lead that team, I think. And I think they're a little banged up at running back, a little banged up in the secondary. To get those guys back, I think look at a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I have 2 NFC West teams here to end it. I have the Rams at 2 and the Seahawks at 1. I don't know really why I have the Seahawks at 1. I just think they play a little bit better defense and they play better on the road.
I was going to say maybe 10 straight road wins has something to do with it. And Sam Darnold playing it out of his balls. So I have the exact same list as you. The only difference that I have is I have the Colts 3 and the Pats 4. Kind of for what you were saying. I just am a little bit more of a believer in the team as a whole with the Colts. I know this is Daniel Jones' first year there, but this is not a team that has struggled. This has been at least a 500 or close to 500 or slightly over 500 team for a while. Whereas for the Patriots, this is all new.
Sure.
So I just think I trust them as a whole a little more.
Do you trust Steichen or Vrabel more? It's a tough question. I'm not
It's
being
tough
because Scheichen's got control of the offense and Vrabel's like a leader as a whole. Like it's
I mean, if the question was who would you rather have as your head coach, I would probably take Vrabel.
Agreed.
But with that said, I think we're seeing that Steichen has done a better job with this offense over the last couple of years with kind of poor quarterbacks than we realized. Because now that he's got a guy that's playing above competent, like more than just okay, they look really good.
Yeah.
With not unbelievable weapons at wideout. Warren is a fantastic weapon, man. He is just fantastic. He is already their go-to guy on third downs, an 8 or less kind of thing.
Pierce and Pittman are good.
Yeah, they're good, but you wouldn't call them like A+ guys.
I wouldn't, but there might be two Bs.
B+ guys.
Yeah,
they're both B+. Yeah. And I think that's fair.
Downs is like maybe a B- guy. They got talent. Like, it's good.
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of I believe the Colts more than I believe the Pats right now, even though they're on a freaking 6-game winning streak or something. And I think looking down the stretch, they've been get in the playoff fights before, and the Patriots haven't in a while.
Yeah.
So I just think it's new. And that's the only reason. My what do you call it? Consolation or next
honorable mention? Yeah.
Honorable mentions. I do have the Lions, I have Denver, and I have the Bills.
I have the same
as the next three, and then the Chiefs on the outside looking in. They're not even a playoff team. They're not a playoff team as we sit here right now.
If KC beats Denver, right? They'll probably be in the top 5, and Denver will be an honorable mention. That's what's crazy about this week.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What's funny is we don't even have the Chargers in there, and they're actually the second place team in the West.
I know, but they got a long road to hoe with those injuries too, man.
Yep.
I like that. I like doing that top 5 after the review. I'll call that to you. Preview Tampa Bay at Buffalo. This is an interesting game.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't know what the weather looks like in Buffalo yet, but Tampa.
It's definitely going to be colder than it is in Tampa.
Well, that's for sure. But but 40 is different than 20 too. Like I don't know what the number is going to be.
Yeah.
But Baker's a dog. Baker's played in the cold in college and in Cleveland. Dude, I really don't know. This is a game I won't touch. Because they're both. Tampa Bay has become a little Jekyll and Hyde, and Buffalo sure as hell has been Jekyll and Hyde. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man.
The Bills are just so hard to predict because it's just a matter of like. I think Tampa's a decent running team, but they're not a great running team right now.
I was going to say if they had Bucky Irving, I think this game would be more scary for them. But I don't.
So that's why I'm not sure. I always love betting on good teams coming off embarrassing losses, especially if they're coming home, which is what the Bills are doing.
Yeah.
But I just that run defense is so atrocious. It's not one of my picks either. So it's too hard. I suspect the Bills will win this game. Wouldn't surprise me if they won by 20. But when you can't defend the run, anybody could beat you. And they've proven to be that way, whether it was Atlanta or Miami or whatever. Like they've or the Patriots. That's just a real problem, man. It's a real freaking problem if you can't stop the run.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of them.
I put this game down because I think it's interesting on a couple levels. Bengals at the Steelers.
I'm with you on that.
Bengals beat the Steelers in dramatic fashion Thursday Night Football a month and a half ago, whatever it was. No, maybe not even that long, maybe a couple weeks. Because that was Flacco. Was that Flacco's first game as a Bengal?
I don't know. I don't remember now.
Yeah, right? This is a must-win for Pittsburgh, dude. Let's be honest here.
It's a must-win for Pittsburgh. I don't know if Joe Flacco he's just such a pro, and he still has just such a strong arm. When you got those kind of wideouts, he just has no qualms about just chucking it up to those guys, and they fucking make plays, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just think it's smart. You kind of see Aaron Rodgers do this a little bit with DK Metcalf. When he sees Metcalf like has a one-on-one, he'll just chuck it and put it in a place. What he'll do, and you see this with Joe Flacco, he does the same thing. And if you think that's not what he's doing, then you just don't understand how good these guys can be. He's not necessarily throwing it to T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. He's throwing it away from the defender and saying, my guy will go get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to make a perfect throw to his receiver. He'll throw it to where the defender won't get it, and then hope that his guy, who's just amazing, which both of those guys are, will go get it. And more often than not, they do. And this is a real problem. It's just a real problem for the Steelers. They're not great against the pass. And again, with the most expensive defense in the league, this is a real problem. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some kind of like 38, 35, 30, 41, 38 kind of game, because they can't just Cincinnati can't stop a nosebleed. But I'd be really surprised if the Steelers shut them down, kept them under 30. I really would. I'd really be surprised.
The Bengals cooked?
Well, that's just it, right? Joe Burrow went back to practice today. Today or yesterday. Maybe it's yesterday.
Quarterback's not the issue there.
Well, that's just what's funny, right? Like Joe Flacco was the top 10 rated quarterback since he's been. I think it's top 6 or something in the league since he's been there. If they win this game, though, they're what, 4-6?
Yeah.
And because of this division, they're kind of back in the hunt. As crazy as that sounds. So as much as this is a huge game and kind of a must win for the Steelers, this is one of those games. If you're Cincinnati, there's it's a different kind of must win. It's actually not a must win. It's a how the fuck do I explain this? There's a feel. Here's what I suspect. There's a feeling inside of each of the Cincinnati Bengal players and their coaches that says, boys, if we can pull this off, man, our season is not over. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Joe Burrow goes down, whatever. They're probably thinking, shit, we're done. We're toast. They go win this game and they're 4-6. They're 1 game behind the Bengals. They're at that point, then they're 2 games behind the Steelers. And it's like, we play both of those teams down the stretch. We're playing them here. We're going to play the Bengals, play the Ravens again. Hope is a son of a bitch, man. When you feel like you got a chance after thinking you didn't, it's a more important game for the Steelers to win. But there's a feeling inside each one of those Bengals players and coaches that says, if.
I hope Sidney Sweeney's gonna knock on my door too. Hope is a hell of a fucking.
Yeah. Disappointment is a bitch too, right?
Chargers at the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence with a brutal second half, or a brutal fourth quarter, I should say, more than your boy Davis Mills.
Yeah,
Mr. Neck.
Yeah, he has a good arm now.
Fourth quarter, and he's a smart kid. Is he Stanford kid?
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Jaguars, another one, man. I think Liam Cohen was getting a little pissed off at Trevor too.
It's hard not to.
Duval. Jaguars. Listen, no Hunter.
So what game are we talking about? Which game are we talking about?
Jaguars.
Well, that's last week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chargers, Jaguars. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird game.
It's a weird game because again, the Jaguars are capable of kind of like beating anybody. The Chargers haven't played so great on the road, but I certainly don't trust Jacksonville. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence. It's an odd game. The NFL in general is just odd.
Them winning.
Absolutely. Would you be shocked if the Jaguars won this game, 27-23 or something like that?
Not at
all,
no,
right?
No.
So, the fact that the Chargers are favored, I mean, Vegas is telling you something there, but to your point, like week in and week out now with this Chargers team, I'm not sure. Like, you have to game plan now protection. It's not just like we have good tackles, so we can rely on that. You have to game plan it. And guess what happens with game plans sometimes? They don't work.
Right.
Like, players are players. Like, Tom Brady's always going to be Tom Brady. Joe Alt as a left tackle or right tackle is, Slater is Slater. You know what I mean? You expect week in and week out. Is it possible to lay an egg one week? Yeah, likely. No. Game plans, on the other hand, it's kind of a guessing game. And it's like, oh, shit, what worked last week won't work this week because that team saw your film and they're going to adjust. And that's what makes it
players. Maybe they have maybe they can get home with 4 and not get home with 6 or whatever the case may be.
Correct. So that's what makes this a bit of a wild card to me, which makes sense because both of these teams are fighting for a wild card.
Yep. Great game. I hate that it's opposite of mine. Seahawks, Rams.
Yeah, we have both of these teams at the top of the charts, and what's funny is there's a way that this all works out that they both stay at the top of the charts. If Seattle wins this game close, but it's a nail biter, it's a close one, which wouldn't surprise me at all. I do think both of these teams are where's this game again?
LA.
At LA, yeah. And look, can Seattle possibly keep this road winning streak going of 10 straight wins on the road? That would solidify them as the number one team. Like I think we've been talking all along, at least since we've been doing this top 5 list, that you could take this list of 5 and shuffle it, and we'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Seattle wins this game in LA, 11 straight road games, which means Sam Darnold probably played his balls off. Smith and Jigba is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And they win this game, they are solidified as the best team in the NFL, I think.
Dude, they're cooking people too, man. Like
dude, that defense is fucking fast, man.
Ferocious.
It's really, really good. Give their GM some credit for putting this roster together. Really nice.
And give the guy credit for firing Pete Carroll and going after a guy that hasn't coached in a head coach.
Dude, yeah, ballsy, right? So you got to give the front office some credit. Got to give McDonald some credit. That defense is just electric, and then you got Sam Darnold.
Doing a job too. Looks like me. He's fucking
absolutely. So this will be a hell of a game. We haven't even talked about the Rams. You know how good Matthew Stafford has been. Puka Nacua. You go down the list. You know, does Cooper Kupp have a little extra in the tank this week to kind of stick it up their ass? Who knows? The one thing I'll say is Seattle hasn't run the ball as well as I know they would like to run the ball.
Yeah.
If they get off in any way, shape, and form on the running game, I think Seattle could be the pick here.
You know what the number is?
3.5.
Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I may have a little something to say about this later.
Okay. To Mile High we go.
Game of the week, right? You call this a game. Well, both of these two are the games of the week.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Kansas City at the Broncos. I don't know what Denver put on the field Thursday, and I kind of led up to that last week. I go, dude, these games scare the shit out of me. You said it with the Raiders game. It's weird. I was having Bo Nix's back for most of the year with Sean Payton not having a good game plan. Bo was awful in this game. Bo did not help himself.
Nope.
But again, with the run game, Harvey was starting to come along, and then they barely played him. They're playing the other kid, and then now Dobbins is hurt, which sucks. Going against the Chiefs, which fucking kills me. Chiefs coming off a bye again. Thank you very much, NFL.
Yeah, and Andy Reid.
I know it's fucking sickening.
So good.
I know. Right now it doesn't look pretty. Bad timing for us here, but we're due for a. Well, so we had a clunker last week and we won the game. But we might be due for a ass whipping at some point here, and I hate that it's going to come by the Chiefs.
I don't know that it is. I don't know that the Chiefs are the team to deliver that ass whooping. I just don't.
I don't know if we can keep up with them offensively if our defense doesn't show up.
Well, what I was going to say is the opposite. I think the Broncos defense matches up really well with this Chiefs offense. Why?
Even without Surtain?
Yeah, even without Surtain, just because I just think overall
get to the passer that fast.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs still have issues with pass protection. You look at that game against the Bills, you know, Patrick Mahomes just was under duress the entire time, which is why Buffalo got Joey Bosa in the first place. I still think Denver gets after the quarterback. Who's the only other team that pressure? I think Seattle's the only other team that gets more pressures on quarterbacks so far this season than Denver. They're the only team that gets more. So, you know, I don't care who you are as a quarterback. We saw this with Tom Brady against the Giants and other times. It doesn't matter who you are. No quarterback, like Peyton Manning, had issues when pressured. Yeah. No quarterback likes getting pressured, you know. So if they're going to get pressure on them like they have all season and like most all teams have against the Chiefs, I don't know that this is – I actually think this is a good matchup for Denver. I love the fact that they're at home. And it blows me away that they're 3.5-point dogs.
Maybe I'm getting blinded to the fact that we looked terrible last week. But again, we have a couple days off too. That's
a couple extra days.
Yeah,
you could very well have been looking forward. Like this happens all the time.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, they probably had their best week of practice this week. You know, they're not coming into this one thinking, we don't have it. You know, they're feeling a little disrespected because they're over a field goal underdog at home against a sub 500 team or one game over a 500 team. Like it seems we're 7-2, they're 5-4, and they're 3.5-point favorites against us. Oh my God. You think that shit's not on the bulletin board? Like, other than the Surtain thing, I think a lot of things are in the favor of Denver in this game. I really do.
All right. Well, Mr. Positivity Calistiano over there. I like it. Sunday Night Football, the Lions at the Eagles. And I have something to say about this game in a little while.
Look, I'm totally with you in the whole the Eagles it doesn't look right. Something's not right. But considering what we've seen, we didn't talk about the Denver game. The Detroit game from last week, and Dan Campbell kind of taking over play calling, which he has yet to do since he's been there. I know he made a big deal of after the game, saying that it's a week-to-week thing. I just want to get my input on these plays. He'll be calling plays again. Whatever. Like, you don't do that if you didn't see a problem. I mean, are you really surprised that Philly wins this game at home? They've constantly done whatever they need to do to beat the better teams. They always seem to show up against the better teams. I don't know.
Short week.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
Yeah.
Something's broken with Hurts.
Look, I think he is who we thought he was. I would look great if I was play action passing with the guy who's rushing for 2,000 yards.
Well, why isn't that happening this year? Because
they're not running. They're not. He's not rushing.
That's what I mean. Like, what's the line?
The offensive line is not as good. Lane Johnson went down in the last game. I don't know if he's out for this game.
He came back in that game.
He can't come back, but I mean, who knows how that goes?
Yeah, that's adrenaline shit too. Yeah, I get it.
Who knows? I haven't heard anything, but I don't know whether he's in or out or not. But even if he plays, he's not 100%. But they just don't run the ball as well as they did last year. They just don't. And again, we mentioned this. I don't know what the stats were for this game, but before this game, they were outgained in every single game except for the second Giants game. That was the only game where they outgained yardage wise the other team. That's a fucking problem.
Well, that's what Denver. That's same thing. You're playing with fire. You can't
do that forever. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. And
Detroit's no joke, dude.
Detroit's no joke, and they can run the ball. And you just came off a freaking slobber knocker against Green Bay. It's a tough game. It's a great game. I mean, obviously.
You mentioned this too. Sirianni almost fucked up that whole game at the end. I know you were asleep.
I was gone, yeah.
But dude, I'm sure you heard what happened, right?
Go ahead. Why don't you refresh me?
So it's 4th and 6. They're probably at like the Green Bay 40, up 3. He goes for it.
Right.
They're like, oh, they're going to hard count it. Nope. Snaps it. Don't have a design run for Hurts. Throws a fade route. Incomplete pass.
Incomplete and stops the clock.
Oh, my God. Like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Right. No, I know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
No, I know. And like you said, that can't go on forever. So
yeah. You have anything else?
I just want to mention Browns playing Ravens. Sounds like a nothing burger. But the Browns, we talked about it earlier. The Browns play phenomenal defense at home, and they are at home.
And if Lamar's limping around, dude, they're in dance.
Yeah, you and I 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, we talked about it in the review of the previous week. Lamar definitely is not the same guy running as he has been in the beginning of his career. He's lost a step. And in this league, a step makes him human. He's much more of a passing quarterback now, and he's still a threat to run. Don't make no mistake. He's just less of a threat to run, and it's noticeable. And if that defense is playing like they have at home, this is a very interesting game. And God forbid the Browns, number one, find a way to protect Dylan Gabriel, and number two, keep keep the Ravens in check and somehow win this game, all that talk about the Ravens and the playoffs and winning the division, it gets put on the back burner instantaneously. Because you can't lose to the Browns and tell me that you're a division winner. Like, you just can't. So
I agree with that.
It's just an interesting game to keep an eye on. Browns are getting 8.5 points here. That's a lot. That's a lot for a sub 500 team on the road against one of the best defenses.
Dylan Gabriel's bad.
He struggles. He struggles sometimes. And then sometimes he makes really good throws. We saw this with Tua and the Miami Dolphins this past weekend. Teams that are not really good, but they're playing at home and the other team shows weakness. They get up for it. They say, hey, man, we got a shot here.
Division rival. Yeah, that's
division
fair.
Rival. Just
run
be
the
careful,
football.
Man. What do I always like to say? It's not a prediction. I just wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't shock me.
College football week 11 in the books. Dude, I had a surprise party to go to at 4:00, right? I had to be there at 3, whatever. I'm watching Indiana Penn State as I'm like trying to walk out the door. I got a guy waiting for me in the driveway. I couldn't leave. Like, what? Penn State showed some balls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great effort. Right.
Absolutely.
Mendoza, although I'm still not totally sold. That's a hell of a drive with the game on the line on the road, man. That's
Heisman moment.
It could be. And that kid who made the catch in the end zone, well done, son. Well done.
The play is one thing. The drive is one thing. The play by Mendoza with pressure in his face is another thing. The catch is and to
give the ref credit. Called it live touchdown.
There.
Like,
he was right there, facing it, hands on his knees, as if he knew it was coming there. Just great job all around. What a great catch. And to get your feet in. By the time his feet actually came down, the ball was 2.5 yards out of bounds. I don't even know how he did that, man. Incredible. And just like I said, potential Heisman moment. So
Gus Johnson, however, not as great.
Unbelievable. I know. I'm kind of. There's a part of me that's hoping that he had a cold and he was like a 15-year-old boy going through puberty. He just got so high pitched.
But the air got sucked out.
But I'm sorry. I know some people have criticized him for that. I don't care. I fucking love Gus, and I will rather listen to him than anybody else in that spot. That's all. I'll leave it at that. I know it got a little high-pitched. I'm thinking it was a cold and he was losing his voice after a long game. But it just was a little odd, sure, but I don't care. I love Gus Johnson, period. End of story.
Texas A&M 38, Missouri 17. Missouri with their third-string quarterback really had no shot in this game.
No, and they played valiantly for a while.
Yes.
I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to say I'm nuts. I think Texas A&M is the best team in the country.
I don't disagree with you.
I think they're the best team in the country because I just don't see any holes. I think they're an elite defensive team, but maybe more than that in this era of football, man, they can score. They can run the ball. They got elite wide receivers. They got a talented quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback, but he's a talented quarterback, and he's also a threat to run at any time. He's a super incredible athlete. And I think they're just very well coached. I think it's the best team in the country. So I could be proven wrong. Maybe they'll lose the SEC championship game. Maybe they'll lose before the SEC. I don't know. But what I'm seeing right now, I think they're a better all-around team than even Ohio State right now.
You know what they're bringing back this year that I just found out that gets my nipples hard? A&M Texas on fucking Good Friday, on Black Friday.
Love it. Yeah.
That's tremendous news to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that a neutral site game?
No. That's out of campus. I just not sure which one hosted this year.
Not which one, yeah.
Sleep Fest in Tuscaloosa, Alabama 20, LSU 9.
Yeah.
Good call out of you. I think you had Bama you covered by 1.5 here, I think.
I did, and it kind of was what I thought. Like, Nussmeier actually got pulled in this game in the third quarter because he just has been unproductive. I will say, I think he's playing himself out of a top 10 pick. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd be surprised. You know how these things go.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they get the measurables. They see him in his
pro
day.
In shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But the funny thing is, it's, you know, I haven't done a full eval, but you know how this goes sometimes. A guy drops, and because he drops, he ends up landing on a better team, and it works out better for him as opposed to say he was potentially the first pick of the draft, and you landed with the Jets. That's awesome. So maybe it works out better for him. I don't know, but
do you think
it was bad? It was bad. And how about Alabama? Like, just week in, week out playing top tier teams. I know this is not the best LSU team, but it's still LSU. It's still a kind of a rivalry game, and no letdown. So give Caleb DeBoer some credit on this one, man. By the way, that game is at Texas.
What are you talking about?
That Texas A&M Texas game.
Oh, it's at Texas. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, even better, better. Because we'll get a. What time's the game?
7:30.
7:30 kick.
Yep. That's a.
I know what I'm doing. I'm doing Friday night. Michigan Ohio State Eve. Watching that fucking game.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Dude, we're big.
Georgia Tech is that day. Ole Miss, Mississippi State is that day, but there's no question in my mind that's the best game of the day. It's not even close.
There's a pro game that day too, right? That the Black Friday shit.
I'm sure. Yeah, they dominate
everything. I think Philly's in it, if I'm not mistaken.
I can find that out right now too.
Please. Well, I'm just gonna say one thing while you're looking that up. I've never seen a year in
Philly versus the Bears at Philly.
Oh, that's it, dude. That's got some juice now.
It does. We'll see.
3 o'clock kick, 4 o'clock kick.
We'll see. We didn't talk about the Bears very much, but I just want to say on this big winning streak where everybody's jerking off about it, they haven't beat a winning team yet. It's been all losing teams. Let's not forget, big comeback against the Giants. The Giants are 2-7. You shouldn't be 10 points down in the fourth quarter to the Giants. Does anybody want to talk about the reality of what happened in that game?
Are you done?
Go ahead.
To Peter's Texas Tech Red Raiders. 29, BYU 7. The gambler, the guys in Vegas were right. 14-point spread. It closed 14.5. This game was never close, really.
Nope. They jumped out to a lead early and kept it the whole time.
I love watching Texas Tech play defense. I love their coach. I don't know if the quarterback – I know you're a big quarterback guy. Barry Morgan.
I like him. Yeah,
I like him. I don't know if he could beat a team like Ohio State, A&M.
Well, that's a big ask.
Well, guess what happens when you got to win a championship? You got to go through somebody.
Yeah, I don't think this is a championship quality team.
Oh, they're going to be so disappointed. Oh, there goes your merchandise on the way. They're going to fucking – oh, my God.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is a national championship team. I think this is a very fun team to watch. And what has legitimized them over any other year, maybe in my lifetime, is to what you just said. They are a good defensive team. This is not your typical score 60 but lose Texas Tech team.
Right.
You know, if Patrick Mahomes had this defense when he was there, I don't know what they could have done. I mean, they had a losing record with him as quarterback. So, and it was because they give up 50 every game. This is a team that I don't even know what their average is. My guess is they average giving up in the teens. So in college football, I don't care who you're playing. If you're giving up 15, 16, 17 points a game, you're a really good fucking team. But no, they're not on the level of Texas A&M and Ohio State or even Alabama or any of those top Indiana. They're not on that level, but they're good. They're a good team. They're right in the tier after that. You know what I mean? You have your top 4, 5, 6 teams, and then they're in the next tier for sure.
A game that made or break our picks. I got one back. He had me last week. I had him this week. Oregon 18, Iowa 16. I didn't see one play of this game, unfortunately, but I was getting updates. I heard it was a fantastic, Big Ten slobber knocker.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it. We were both right. You were just more right. We both acknowledged that it was going to be a nail biter. It was going to be close. I just thought Oregon had
more offense,
firepower.
Yeah.
The weather didn't help them. You know, it was raining. It was real heavy rain and stuff like that. But I mean, it wasn't just a close game. Iowa had this, and they coughed it up late. But yeah, this was like a football game. This is what we call like a football game, right? Like real physical. It wasn't that it was a bunch of 3 and outs either. You know what I mean? The teams moved the ball a little and then had to punt, move the ball a little. Yeah. It was definitely like, you know, we were talking earlier about maybe Philly is just playing this way. They're just going to do enough to win and don't do anything to lose. And that was clearly what was going on. The weather played a factor. So both teams were like, don't make mistakes to lose the game. And we'll try to pull this out late. And it was actually like a kind of cool, it felt like a playoff game. How about that? You know what I mean? It felt like don't fuck up and try to win it late. And that's how they both did it. And Oregon just had enough. They made enough plays late. They were missing some receivers too. So they were, not at full force. But give Iowa a lot of credit, man. Like they played exceptional defense. They got after it, made enough plays to take a lead. It was just a fun game. Actually, when we think of fun games, there's only like 38-35 or something like that. Yeah. Not at all. This was like a fun game to watch, like bad weather. I almost wish it was grass, so it would have been a little muddy. But it was a good football game. It was a well-played football game.
Isn't Iowa City amazing? They continue to play these games incredible, so goddamn well and tight.
They're never. I would never consider them a threat to win the national title.
No.
And maybe they'd only make the playoffs once every 8 or 10 years. But no team in this country can just look past them if you have to play them, number one, and especially if you have to play them at Iowa. I don't care who you are. I don't know that Alabama, Georgia, like you name the team, you're not just going to, we've watched Alabama roll into Wisconsin and just smash them. Yeah. You're not doing that against them because, number one, they don't make mistakes, so they're not going to make it easy for you. And they're just sound, they're physical, they're smart. They just play old school football. It's good enough to be competitive. It's just not good enough to be a national champion.
Yep. You have anything else?
Nope.
Week 12?
Oh, wait, I do.
Oh, okay.
Go. You didn't mention at all the Georgia-Texas game.
Because that's this week.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's get into the pro. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not Friday yet, Coach. Let's take it easy. My God.
Jesus. Sorry. Let's get to the preview. What do you say we get to the preview?
Idea. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Number 10, Notre Dame at 24, Pitt. College game day goes there, which I think is a little forced, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't love this when you got two other SEC monsters going on.
Yeah.
Pitt's a good football team.
Are they? Are they game day good?
No. But no.
No. Well, do you know what the spread is in that game? I don't have
11.5. Notre Dame 11.5.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's not great.
You don't do college game day at the home team's 11.5 dog. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's
we're trying. You know what they're trying to do? Because everybody wants it. All the networks want it. They want to hype up Notre Dame.
Yep.
Because Notre Dame brings the eyes. Notre Dame brings the money.
And they want to hype up. And it's the only chance they had in 2 months to do it.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of sad in a way. You got games on this schedule like Georgia versus Texas,
dude. And I got three SEC games that I'm talking about that are better than this game.
100%. That's wild. They're just trying to hype. They're just trying to puff up Notre Dame.
That turns people off, though, especially with Notre Dame. It's not great.
It does.
Number 12, Oklahoma at number 4, Bama. That's one.
That's a bigger one, and I'm not sure what to think of this game. There's a part of me that says you got to go with Alabama here because Oklahoma hasn't been the same since Mateer got hurt.
Although they won the Knoxville 2 weeks ago and won.
That's I was going next. Like they've been playing better each week, and I say this about anybody. Unless you're so clearly head and shoulders better than everybody else, it's hard to continue to do this week after week. Like Missouri, LSU, tough games week in, week out. I don't know how long you can keep it up. What this game is in Alabama?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing in their favor, but I just don't know how long you can keep it up week in, week out. I mean, this is like 6 straight weeks now of big games, ranked teams, rivalry games. I don't know how long you can keep that up. That's all. Tennessee. Like, I don't know how long you keep it up.
I'm with you. Number 20, Iowa at number 19, USC.
I have something to say about this game a little later.
As do I.
This is a weird game because this is like a matchup nightmare both ways. Like the way USC can throw the ball is dangerous at home against a kind of, I'll say a little bit slower Iowa team. But what does Iowa want to do more than anything on offense?
Chunk it up.
They want to run that ball. And what does USC not do well, as Notre Dame showed you very, very well? They do not stop the run at all. I think it's a very dangerous spot for USC. Look, I think if they can get off to a fast start, like get 10 points, 14 points first quarter, then they should be on their way. But if this thing is tight midway through the second quarter, look out. I'm just saying look out, because I will promise you one thing that Iowa won't do. Iowa's not going to give up on running the ball. The score doesn't matter. They're going to run the football. They're going to try to shorten this game.
And they will force a turnover or two, too.
100%. So I think it's a real dangerous spot for USC. You'll know, like I said, midway through the second quarter, you'll know where this game is going. If it's tight, just buckle up. If they get out to a quick lead, 10-0, 14-0, I think they can cruise the rest of the way home. But if it's tight, look out, man. Look out.
Number 11, Texas at number 5, Georgia.
It's the biggest fraud in all of college football. Texas is not the 11th best team. Texas is not better than Texas Tech.
I know, and Miami's 12.
Okay?
Like, what the fuck is happening here? Like,
it's the biggest fraud in college football. So I may have something to say about this one also later on.
Sweet.
Now, with that said, Georgia is not the same Georgia team. They kind of go out there and try to outscore teams, which is interesting because we know with Kirby Smart, they love their defense, and they do stop the run very well. And if Texas can't run the ball to get Arch going with play action pass, that could be a problem. But this is they don't get after the quarterback, and that's the one thing Arch Manning has problems with is when he's getting pressure, and Georgia doesn't do that very well. So while I think Texas is a fraud, this is actually, like, in a way, not the worst matchup for them because Georgia doesn't get after the quarterback very well.
Anything else?
I do not.
You want to play my game first? You want to bet first?
Let's do the game.
Let's do the game. Peter, I asked you to give me top 5 venues you want to visit before you die. Not counting ones you have already seen. So,
well, I haven't seen too many college ones. So,
no, not college. Anything. What's just college? I'm sorry, I wasn't specific on that. It could be anything. Anything in sports. Sorry about that.
Okay. So
if you want to change it up real quick, you can. No
I'm kind of doing it off the top of my head, but this is relatively easy. I'm going to keep it to football because, well, I will not. I take that back.
I got 3 football, and then I got others too.
Yeah, I got 1 baseball. So Fenway Park, I have never been, and
I got the same.
Okay, 1 NFL, and that's Green Bay. I would like to go to the frozen tundra, and I definitely would not want to go there when it's frozen. I'll take a September game, September, October. And then the rest will be college football. Notre Dame.
Yep.
Notre Dame. I don't care where, but preferably at Michigan, Ohio State. Okay. It could be at Ohio State, but the Big House just sounds a lot better to me. And then a game at Tennessee.
Right. For Pops.
At Tennessee at night. Yeah. Preferably at night.
Oh, Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Yeah, my dad loved the color orange. I just love the way the stadium looks with the orange and white.
Sure.
The checkerboard in the end zones, 110,000 people. Yeah, absolutely. Love it. There's others. Believe me, there's others. I can name them off the top of my head. I would love to go to Virginia Tech just to see the opening with Metallica. Clemson when they're playing well, hitting the rock coming down. I would love to see somebody trip on the way down one of these days. Like, there's a number of other spots, but yeah, those are the big ones.
For me, I got Notre Dame Stadium at 5. Probably not against Michigan, just somebody like a slap.
You have not been, right?
I've never been to South Bend. I just want the whole experience there.
Check
it out. Number 4, I have Cameron Indoor Stadium at Duke. I would love to go to a Duke game.
That's fair.
Love to go hang out there. That little loud box, everyone's screaming at you.
Bump.
Number 3, Fenway Park, same thing. It's iconic. You got to do it before they knock it down.
Yeah. Wrigley's up there too, but Fenway comes first.
I will be there Saturday. Hopefully, if I can get a flight out, it'll be great. I'll send some pictures. Number 2, I have Tiger Stadium, LSU at night. That's a must for me.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Smell the bourbon, smell the fire. Let's get after it.
For sure, especially at night. Yes.
And number 1, the Rose Bowl. That is a must for me. I don't want to see UCLA in front of 2,600 people.
You mean the Rose Bowl?
I want to see a Rose Bowl.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Like you said, Lambeau's on there for me too. I would Clemson's a nice one there, and then when Florida State was cooking with the,
I was going to say Florida State is up there too, but right now is not the time for me to go, especially because they're losing home games.
Listen, for people that haven't been, me and you both have been at Army. Is
my God, yeah.
That's
any Army Navy game is
that's on my list too.
The feeling is I just got chills in my neck just saying the words. Like it's the most incredible thing. I know most people like enjoy it on TV. You can kind of feel it when you go to one of those games, whether it's just Army Navy or even just an Army game because we're closer. Yeah. Well, you're closer there. I've been to both. I've been to Army Navy. I've also been to a game at West Point. When you walk in that stadium and you see how young the people are who defend you, it's a moving moment. I have to tell you. It's a hell of a thing.
Peter, can I have some music?
I would love to.
Thank you for entertaining that. I figured I saw something the other day. I'm like, oh, we got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. I was 3-1 again last week. 22-12-2.
Wow.
Peter was 2-2, and he is 21-15. And we are
making money.
I don't love my picks this week. It's kind of I'm not as confident as I've been, so we'll see how we do here.
I like mine, but I have 3 dogs. I have 5 picks. I have to narrow it down. I have 4 dogs and 1 favorite. This is not how I operate. So
4 dogs for your kid here too.
Oh, Jesus!
Amazing. All right, let's start in college football. You said it. You took the words right out of my mouth. How long can Alabama keep this up? 7 weeks in a row?
Yeah. That's what you're asking.
The number is – I like the number here. It's almost begging me to take Alabama. Oklahoma with a week off last week.
Yeah.
Mateer get that hand a little healthier. Give me Oklahoma plus 6.5 at Alabama. It's a tough – I know. It's a tough ask, but –
this is probably dumb because there's a part of me that thinks Iowa may be licking their wounds after a game they think they should have had against Oregon, right? I get that. This is more about a matchup. I just think USC is wildly weak up the middle, and this is exactly what Iowa wants to do. And I will repeat what I said earlier. If Iowa can keep this game close midway through the second quarter, I think it stays close the whole game because confidence is a bitch. And if they feel like they're in the game, they're probably going to stay in the game. This is a talented team. I told you last week that the Iowa quarterback that they brought in from South Dakota is a better quarterback than they've had there in a little while. And they finally have started letting him kind of let it rip a little bit. I don't know what Iowa team is going to show up. If the team that's going to show up that played against Oregon, or if they're a little down after that game. But I'm going with them just because of the matchup. Give me Iowa plus the 6.5 against USC.
First time in a while that we have agreed. I love Iowa in this game as well. This isn't a typical team that like accepts rejection or like has letdown games.
Right.
The way Phil Parker coaches defense and the way that they want to play offense, they want to slop it up. They've been doing it for fucking 25 years. They've been doing it the same way. It's consistent. And you never know what you're going to get out of a Lincoln Riley USC team.
Correct. Especially their defense. He's never had a good defense.
So, listen, tough ass going out there and winning this game, especially after getting your heart broken last week. But I do think this game's close throughout the whole thing, and I like Iowa plus 6.5 as well.
All right. Okay. This game I absolutely love because I've been saying this since week 1. I've been saying this since before week 1 that I think Texas is a fraud. I don't think they're anywhere near as good as the 11th best team in the country. Now they're going to go on the road against Georgia, who is one of the best teams in the country, who always finds a way to win. It's less than a touchdown. Georgia's favored by 5.5. I think they win by double digits. They're definitely going to at least win by a touchdown. So give me Georgia minus 5.5. This is probably my best bet of the week, to be honest with you. I love Georgia in a spot because I do not think Texas is one of the best teams in the country. Give me Georgia minus 5.5 at home against Texas.
I like the number there too, Coach.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Peter, you could count me in as getting my lotion out for the Chicago Bears as well.
Oh.
This is more of a pick against JJ and the Vikings than it is for the Bears.
That's fair.
I can't take I can't get 3.5 points against without taking it at this point with the Minnesota Vikings. They're having trouble. JJ has one good quarter, one bad quarter. Defense has one good quarter, one bad quarter. I think they need to run the ball, play action like they did at Michigan, get him comfortable. I know it's only 4 starts. Caleb, again, no. Watching Red Zone's tricky because, you only see Caleb's good plays. You don't see how much he struggles throughout the game. Another team that should probably start running the ball more with the two-headed monster they have now with Monangai and Swift. Games indoors. I know the Vikings beat Chicago. I know Chicago beat Minnesota in Minnesota or whatever it was. No, I lied. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Minnesota did beat Chicago in Chicago, right? It was first game.
Chicago, not in Minnesota, yeah.
I hate doing that. I hate doing the opposite thing.
Yeah.
But I just think right now the Bears have confidence. Ben Johnson's got confidence in Caleb, and Minnesota doesn't.
Right.
At least that's what it looks like on the surface. But I'll take the 3.5 at Minnesota.
So you're taking Minnesota.
I'm taking Chicago plus 3.5 at Minnesota.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
I'll say 2 things about this. Number 1, JJ McCarthy to me right now is in the same boat as Michael Penix. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks this because I am a quarterback and I think I know what I'm looking at, maybe more than other people look at, but I still see a lot of good things, even though it's not always clicking. It's usually not clicking when he's trying to throw the ball down the field. There's things that I like that I see about JJ McCarthy. Number 2, one thing good I'll say about Caleb Williams from the jump, I'm including last year in it, he doesn't turn the ball over. Maybe that's because he holds the ball too long and it gets indecisive. That's fine, but he's not just chucking it up. So that, I do like that about him. He's not a big mistake guy. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, or I should just say turnovers. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. So, but there's other things that I don't like. So, but okay, I'll give you that one. God, I got 3 here. I got to pick 2. Well, I'm going to go with the first one that I really like a lot. I'm going to take the Seahawks on the road, getting 3.5. I freaking love the number here.
How do you not, dude?
I think at most this is a field goal game. You got to love the way the Rams are playing. I certainly love the way Matthew Stafford is playing, but it's kind of, I'm not going to say easy, but it's easier to do this against San Francisco than it is, who, has lost everybody on defense, than it is against the Seattle Seahawks, who have so much speed. I'm not necessarily saying Seahawks will win this game, although it wouldn't surprise me at all if they did. They've won 10 straight. Why not make it 11? But I think it's definitely at least going to be a close game. 3.5 is a phenomenal number. So give me Seattle plus the 3.5 at the Rams.
Have they played before this year? Or is this the first time?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I'm going to look it up right now for you. Nope. First time.
First game. Okay. So that means they're going to be playing again in a couple of weeks.
December 18th.
Yep.
Thursday night.
Huge. A month from now.
Wow. God, I love football. I'm taking our Lions here.
Wow.
Detroit plus 2, Sunday night in Philly. The eye test for me is big.
2 roadies. Taking 2 roadies.
I've taken all 4 roadies.
Wow, that is a recipe for disaster. Go ahead.
I told you I didn't love my picks this week. I'm hoping for 2-2 at this point. I don't love the way. Listen, Philly's defense played well, but that's a lot because fucking Love is throwing the ball off his back foot all night too.
Again.
Goff's not going to do that. They're going to run the ball with Sonic and Knuckles. They got 3 monsters on the outside, and I don't know what's going on with Philly's offense. I think if Hutch and Wayne Johnson out, dude, you're fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would Hutch over there.
Yeah.
And even if he's gimpy, that's not a good start. That's not a good sign. So I think the Lions are starting to cook a little bit, and Philly's just up and down like a yo-yo. Give me the Detroit plus 2 at Philly. Yeah, the one thing about getting outgained every game except for one, and I don't want to include this past game because I don't know what happened there. If you get outgained by Detroit puts it in the end zone. Like, they don't stall drives. Yep.
They get in the red zone, they score. Like, so you can't play that game. You talk about at some point it has to catch up to you. If it's going to catch up to them, this is the game. Like, you cannot play that way. If Detroit, unless you're going to get 5-6 turnovers, you can't do that against Detroit. If you're going to get outgained in this one, you're going to lose. So I don't hate it. What's the spread on that one?
2 plus 2.
Okay. God, I got to pick one of these 2. Son of a bitch. All right, I'll stay away from the Broncos game just because you like to consider me a mush. I wish I had that kind of juice in the universe, but I don't think I do. But I'm going to go this other way. I'm going to take the Browns at home, getting 8.5 against the Ravens. The Ravens are a better team. They have a better quarterback. But just go look at the schedule. Go look at how many points the Browns give up at home all year. This is a Browns team that kept Green Bay at bay, no pun intended. Like, they play very well at home. I just think 8.5 points in division, rivalry game, great defense. They play best at home. I think that's just way too many points. I think if the Browns can just find a way to get 10 points, which might be asking a lot from the Browns, but if they can score 10 points, I think they cover this game. So give me the Browns plus 8.5 at home against the Ravens.
Ravens 13-3. Fucking
Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me. By the way, I like the Broncos plus 3.5 against the Chiefs.
I appreciate that. I hope you're right. Because I don't. Oklahoma plus 6.5 at Alabama. Iowa plus 6.5 at USC. Chicago Bears plus 2.5 at the Vikings, and the Lions plus 2 in Philly.
I got Iowa plus 6.5 at USC. Georgia, I love this one. Georgia minus 5.5 against Texas. I got the Browns plus 8.5 against the Ravens, and Seattle plus 3.5 at the Rams.
All right, Peter, you went 2 for 3 last week. Let's see if you can keep it up.
I don't even like the idea of doing this, but go ahead.
Fran Tarkenton is first all-time in passing touchdowns with the Vikings. Who is second?
Dante Culpepper.
Brad Johnson, Dante Culpepper, Kirk Cousins, or Tommy Kramer?
Oh, I really want to say Kirk Cousins. I just don't know that he was there long enough. Oh, man. God, the Culpepper years or something. That was the Randy Moss. He was there with Randy Moss for a while.
Chris Carter for a minute.
Kirk Cousins.
Bang! 1 for 1.
Oh. Love getting off to a start.
Tarkenton 239, Cousins 171.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Big gap. Where was Culpepper on that list?
I think third. I think fourth, because I think Brad Johnson was behind Cousins.
Yeah, because he was there for a little while.
He played there a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter, Jim Hart is first all-time in passing touchdowns and yards with the Cardinals. Who is second? Neil Lomax, Kyler Murray, Jake Plummer, Charlie Johnson.
So, what was the yards and touchdowns?
Yep, and this guy is also second in yards and touchdowns.
You know, it's so funny because we did a segment on this show a few weeks back, maybe it was before the season started, about historically underrated players, and Neil Lomax was one of my guys. What were the choices again?
Lomax, Kyler Murray, Jake Plummer, Charlie Johnson.
God, I really want to say Jake Plummer. See, Neil Lomax just had a short career, but his whole career was with the Cardinals. He just never put up monster numbers. He was only a Pro Bowler once. Because they were bad back then. They were bad.
I used to love when I was a kid, and like it would be an NFC East matchup, and the Giants are playing fucking Arizona in like November, and it's like 84 degrees, and I'm like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, they moved from St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. I'm gonna go with Jake Plummer.
Neil Lomax.
Damn.
Jim Hart had 34,639 yards and 209 touchdowns. Lomax had 22,77-1 and 136 touchdowns.
Where was Plummer on that list?
I think it was third or fourth. I think because then he went to Denver for a little bit.
Yep. That's why I didn't know if he was there long enough.
All right, one of your favorites, Mark Brunell.
He was really good.
His first all-time in passing yards and touchdowns, also with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who was second? Byron Leftwich, Blake Bortles, Trevor Lawrence, David Garrard.
I gotta think it's Byron Leftwich. Blake Bortles had like 2 good years, but they were okay. That was more of a defensive team. That's a team that went in and beat the Patriots, didn't
it? Beat Pittsburgh. I think they lost to New England in the championship.
They lost a close game. Okay,
think.
you're right. Who were the other choices? Leftwich, Trevor Lawrence, no way.
David Garrard.
Garrard. I got no choice. I got to take Byron Leftwich here.
You'd be incorrect, sir.
Oh, no. Don't you dare say Trevor Lawrence.
Blake Bortles.
Really?
So Brunell had 25,698 and 144 touchdowns. Bortles, 17,646 and 103. Trevor Lawrence is on his way to beating both of those. So
Leftwich is not even on the list.
Leftwich is down a little bit. Wow. Remember, Fred Taylor ran the ball a lot.
I know. Leftwich also had that weird throwing here, very long.
Yeah, you want to talk about Penix's delivery? Jesus,
he was like a baseball pitcher, man. That thing came all the way down.
He's got one of the most iconic plays in college football, though. When they're carrying him down the field.
I know. Yeah. He was the guy that followed Chad Pennington at Marshall. We talked about Byron Leftwich as the OC at Tampa, and he got let go, and just his fucking career is over.
Fucking vanished. Let's see where he is.
Does he even coach anymore? Is he coaching anywhere? I don't even mean just the NFL. I mean, he might be
somewhere
coaching high school right now.
Maybe he's at Marshall. Let's see.
We have to look that up, man. You looking it up right now?
Yeah, Byron Leftwich is. He's only 45 too. Christ. No.
By the way, there was a Saturday
Colorado,
night.
Dude.
Oh, he's there with Dion?
He's a quarterback mentor. He's not even on like a.
Oh my God.
Oh, what happened?
How the mighty have fallen. That guy won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady.
That's insane.
Oh shit.
Whose fucking Frosted Flakes did he piss into?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
There was a Saturday night main event last week I told you about, and it was not the best.
Oh no.
And then that was 2 weeks ago. Then this past weekend there was a SmackDown, and the attendance was pretty poor.
Oh,
WWE is starting to have some issues. I don't know if this is because
the Netflix thing or whatever.
I think I don't know what the problem is. I think what's really going on here is that they have just started pricing people out. I don't know if I told you this. So WrestleMania is coming up in April. It's going to be in Vegas again. I don't know if I talked about this a couple weeks ago or not.
I don't think so.
So second row, 2 tickets, second row for 2 days, right? $32,000 a ticket.
What?
Row 2.
Holy
2
shit.
days. 2 days, right? Because WrestleMania is 2 days.
Dude.
Each ticket is $32,000. I told my son, I said, if we wanted to go, that would take every dollar I made after taxes for the entire year. And then we can't get a hot dog. We can't get popcorn. We got to sleep in the car. Like, we can't even fly there. We'll have to drive.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's insane. So when you look at
that's not well done.
Right. So when you look at, now that's one thing. That's WrestleMania. It's second row. Okay. So just recently, I guess in August, there was a Monday Night Raw that took place in Philly. And I looked into it, and like nosebleed seats were like $200, $180, I think. And that would be for me, my son, and my daughter. We're talking like $500 just to go to a Monday Night Raw. So I think, you see them doing a lot of things overseas. You see them doing a lot of things in Saudi Arabia. You see them it just seems like they're starting to price people out. And you just look at the economy. Things are tight.
Yeah.
And what do you, if it's between your electric bill, your gas bill, your mortgage, and a Monday Night Raw or a pay-per-view, like, you're gonna pass on the WWE.
Dude, and the way travel is right now, I'm gonna experience it this weekend. You're better off on the couch with the kids, fucking.
Absolutely. And then you take into account also that the tribal chief Roman Reigns hasn't really been a big part of it for the last year. Seth Rollins has been hurt, so he's going to be out for a while.
Right?
These are your 2 biggest guys. What was that one?
John Cena's gone too.
Cena's retiring. He still has some stuff going on, but if he doesn't show up at every event now, he's not at every Raw and every SmackDown.
It's in a bad spot, Peter. I'm sorry.
You're just in a tough spot. I think, look, the nice thing about this, which is different than sports, is that they can choose to make some big matches. They can choose to make big stories because it's all predetermined and stuff like that. So it's a little different than like, hey, we're having a down year with baseball. Where ain't shit you can do about it because it's a real competition. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Or the NBA or something like that. But
wow,
they have options. But dude, I think a big part of it is like, look, you got to get the ESPN package to get their PLEs now, right? The paid live events. You got to get Netflix to watch the Monday Night Raw. SmackDown at this point is kind of the only thing you can watch on cable. So it's like you're kind of, if you want to watch these things, you're just pricing people out at this point where everything is just, it's somehow I got to pay.
That's crazy, man.
Even at home. So I don't know, and the other thing was, the one last thing I'll talk about was that their SmackDown was also the first time since in like 5 years that they had under 1 million viewers on the USA Network. So even the television ratings are going down. And I think it's because if I can't watch the pay-per-view because it's on ESPN and I can't watch Monday Night Raw because it's on Netflix, and the only thing I can watch is on SmackDown. Well, like, why am I watching SmackDown if I can't see all the other stuff anyway? I don't get to see the story develop.
Yeah.
So there's some issues going on there. They're going to have to make some adjustments. I suspect they will because they kind of always do. But we'll see what goes on. Biggest game you're watching this weekend?
Well, I'll be at Wrigley Field for Michigan Northwestern at 11 o'clock Central Time kick. Weather's supposed to be glorious. If I can get there, it'd be great. Listen, Broncos, Chiefs, and Rams, Seahawks, no doubt about it, on Sunday. Sure. And then Saturday night, I got to go to a bar and fucking watch Texas, Georgia, and Bama and Oklahoma. So I'm gonna be a happy camper this weekend, brother.
I'm fascinated by that Iowa USC game, but I'm also I would like to see Georgia just drill Texas and shut people up and get them out of the playoffs because they do not belong there. I'm fascinated by that Seahawks Rams game. I know Denver KC is also a big game, but there's something about those two teams are kind of playing the best football in the NFL right now.
No doubt.
And I'm really fascinated to see if Seattle can keep this road thing going on, which is bananas to have 10 straight road wins. I just can't imagine they can keep it going, but who knows? For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later.
All right.
Awesome.